You join the call for your first interview, and no one is there. A calm voice, a chat box, one question, and it is already scoring you against a rubric you will never see. In 2026, this is not rare. 63% of job seekers have now sat through an interview run by an AI, and that number jumped 13 points in 6 months. Passing one of these is a different skill than passing a person, and most people cope with the strangeness in the exact way that gets them flagged. By the end, you will know how it scores you, the polite habit that quietly sinks you, and the new mistake that ends the interview before it starts. Companies do this for volume and consistency. One system can run hundreds of first rounds in a week, ask everyone the same questions, and grade them the same way. For the recruiter, that kills the "I just like them" effect and hands back hours. For you, it means the first gate has no intuition and no benefit of the doubt. It scores what you actually say. There are two versions you will meet. The older one is the one-way recording, like HireVue, where you answer to a camera and the system grades the transcript afterward. The newer one showed up everywhere this year. A live conversational agent like Apriora Alex that talks back, remembers your last answer, and asks a real follow-up on the spot. Same scoring underneath, different room to read. So, forget eye contact and vibe. HireVue quietly dropped facial analysis years ago after its own research found expressions predicted job performance by under 0.25%. What the credible systems grade in 2026 is the content of your answer, whether it actually addresses the question that was asked, whether there is a clear situation, the action you took, and the result the model can map to the skill it is testing. Whether you give concrete detail, real numbers, the names of the tools you used. Some also read your delivery, the pace you speak at, and how many filler words you lean on. Vague answers score low no matter how confident you sound. You cannot charm a rubric, you can only feed it signal. Here is the habit that sinks good candidates, and it feels like good manners. With a person, being brief is a courtesy. You give a tight answer and stop so you are not wasting their time. The AI reads that same short answer as almost nothing to grade. It does not register efficiency, it logs low signal and moves on. On the one-way format, nobody leans in to pull more out of you. On the live format, the agent will probe, but if your first answer was hollow, there is nothing to probe into. So treat every question as a complete small story. The situation, the action you took, the result, one number. Say the part you would normally leave implied with a human who fills the gaps for you, because this one will not. Now, the mistake that is brand new to 2026. About 1 in 5 candidates are running ChatGPT on a second screen during live interviews, reading answers off it as they go. The systems are built to catch exactly that. In one analysis of more than 19,000 interviews, 38% tripped a cheating flag. The tells are behavioral. Your eyes drifting to the same fixed spot off camera after every question. An answer that lands too polished and too fast. The small timing delay while you wait for the text to appear. Use AI to rehearse before the call as much as you want. Read off it during the call, and you hand the system a clean reason to drop you, right while you think you are doing well. A few things make your signal land cleaner. Slow down a touch and speak clearly, because a transcription error turns straight into a scoring error. If it hears "let a migration" instead of "let a migration," your best line is garbled. Use the real language from the posting, the actual terms for the work, not stuffing. Just do not bury your skills under phrasing the model has to guess at. Lead with your answer in the first sentence and support it after. And on the live format, when the agent asks a follow-up, answer that follow-up directly instead of restarting your speech. It is checking whether you can actually go deeper. The prep is small, and it works. Beforehand, paste the job description into any chatbot and have it interview you one question at a time and score each answer. You will feel the gap close inside 5 questions, and the exact prompt is in the free kit. On the day, find a quiet room, wired headphones if you have them, and keep a short printed list of your 6 core stories so you are never scrambling. Look at the camera, not a second monitor. Treat it like a real interview even though the room is empty, because something is still watching and grading. If you are on the hiring side, 2 things are true at once. The upside is real, a structured and consistent first round that frees your team. The exposure is real too, and the law caught up this year. In the EU, hiring AI is now treated as high risk, with obligations on the companies that deploy it landing in August 2026 and penalties that reach 7% of global revenue. Illinois now requires you to tell candidates when AI evaluates their interview and to get consent first. New York City makes you run a published bias audit before you use an automated tool at all. And transparency is the fault line. 70% of candidates say they were never told an AI was judging them, and most of them now think disclosure disclosure should be required by law. Use AI to widen and standardize the top of the funnel. Keep a human accountable for the decision and be ready to explain it. So, the polite habit that sinks you is brevity. The short answer that lands with a person starves the machine. The new habit that ends it is outsourcing your answer live, where the system is built to watch your eyes leave the camera. The shift that changes your result is simple. Say the whole structured story out loud, in your own words, every time. You are not talking to someone who fills in the gaps. You are feeding a rubric that scores only what you actually said. The mock interview prompt, paste the job and get grilled and scored before the real thing, is in the free kit, with the link in the description. Next week, the backlash. 38% of candidates have already walked away from a job because it made them face an AI, and only 8% of them think the whole thing is even fair. I will show you where they are right, where they are wrong, and what it means whether you are applying or hiring. Subscribe.